So I got bored and wanted to make a video on this topic about experience and perspective. And so I came up with that women have experience on perspective and men have perspective on experience. And let me just teach you through an allegory here. Say a man is walking with his wife through a lake, around the lake, and they see a duck. The woman would say, "Oh, hey, look, a duck." And then say, "When's the last time you've seen a duck?" They would start getting excited. They would point things out about their environment. Whereas the man, he sees a duck, the husband, and he, that's just his perspective. Hey, look, a duck. He already has perspective. He doesn't have to voice it out loud because it's just a thought, And here lies the question, okay, now what? Well, the man will sometimes point that out. Hey, look, a duck. When's the last time you seen a duck? But in only a certain circumstance. And, as a man, you got to be either high out your mind or an INFJ to be able to talk about some duck you see in a lake or a pond, just to have conversation. But that's not what's important here, because everyone talks about pointless things because everything's pointless, right? To some people, I guess. But what makes a man want to talk about something he sees, or just conversation in general, is being in flow. Now, a woman, she can talk about anything she wants. She could talk about a duck or, the news or her car troubles. But what really gets her is her experience of her perspective. And so I also thought that a man's perspective on his experience, their perspective is of the mind. And so that becomes his ego. And this is when we're tired. When we're really tired, the man will sit in his perspective and not experience. And the woman will sit in her emotions, which is her experience, but not be in her perspective when we're tired. Now, objectivity of this is that when we're tired, we want control. So we go on what we use, what we're able to actually do with ourselves, with our bodies, and not on what is the outcome or life in general. We become so controlling that we forget about flow. And I just thought I would share that. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. The whole duck thing came to mind. But I hope you got something from this, and peace out.